as you go through the whole process of making your house more efficient and more sustainable and more comfortable, the interesting side effect is that you want to make it more sustainable and more comfortable, and you want to get closer to net zero. So it's kind of a little challenge that you give to yourself.
Changing for climate.
Darcy and Darren Crichton live in this 1969 bungalow in North Edmonton. At first, their renovation goals were modest. They simply wanted to make their home more comfortable and less drafty. This is the story of their 20-year journey to reduce their impact on climate change. Today, their home is near net zero, meaning it generates almost as much energy as it consumes.
Well, I would sit here in the morning, and this is the north wall, and the wind would come right through here. It would make a little whistling sound, and I could actually feel it on my face. And so we decided we probably needed to increase the insulation a little bit.
So we started with the insulation to minimize the amount of heat loss coming through the walls, and that entailed extending the existing 2x4 walls out to 2x6 and putting an inch of styrofoam on the outside of that, and then Housewrap on top of that.
This was no small do-it-yourself project.
Darcy and I dug down to just above the weeping tile.
There was a lot of digging and trench digging. So not a lot of space and lots of lifting the dirt up. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into all of our projects, but this one in particular.
Then they moved to the roof.
We did a bunch of research as far as what would be the best roof for attaching solar panels, and we ended up settling on installing a standing seam metal roof. And the reason the standing seam metal roof is the best is that we have these channels to attach the panels to.
It was long days and late nights. Certainly I would pass the plywood up to Darren. On the ladder, he would secure it down, and we'd just keep repeating like...
Then they added lots of insulation in the attic.
So the insulation is a good 18 inches thick.
Back in the 60s, it was just shredded insulation, and it wasn't very deep. And so there was a lot of work to do to remediate that for sure.
The new insulation made a big difference, but both Darcy and Darren agree that adding solar was a game changer.
We're really enamored with solar. I've never envisioned that we'd be able to use energy from the sun to heat our house, charge our car, heat our domestic hot water, everything.
Well, the solar is fantastic. We're pretty much on the plus side at the end of the year, and that's considering both energy and fixed costs. So in terms of saving us a few bucks, solar definitely does that.
The final stage of Darcy and Darren's journey to near net zero came last summer, when temperatures soared to near 40 degrees Celsius.
Well, the heat dome. The heat dome this summer was a bit of an eye-opener because we realized we had not designed our house to keep heat out.
Like Darcy said, when the when the heat dome came in, we definitely realized we were offside. We didn't anticipate having 2 weeks of super hot weather where we couldn't even cool down the house at night. And so I did a bit of research, and we figured out that ground source heat pumps were gonna be able to definitely cool our house, and the upside would be we could heat our house, minimizing our carbon footprint.
For Darcy, her environmentally friendly values also extend out into the yard.
Well, we started about 20 years ago with a real conscious decision to not use water on our landscape. So the only thing that we use water for is food. So this tank is normally in the upright position, and it collects rainwater off the roof. And that's what we use to water things like tomatoes and potatoes and vegetables that we grow. And other than that, no water goes into the landscape whatsoever. We love our kids, we love the natural world, and we want to do everything that we can to preserve it.
Changing for climate.
To learn more about the supports available to help kickstart your home retrofit journey, visit homes.changeforclimate.ca.